Hey guys, welcome to another video. Today we're going to be going over how to get funded $1 million in 2024. A lot of you may be new to futures trading or prop firm trading in general, and today we're going to be going over how, at least with Apex Trader funding, how you can get up to $1 million in funding. So let's dive right into it. Okay, so first starting off, if you go to Apex's website, they have accounts listed everywhere. Right now there's 90% off and 1 day to pass, so I'm gonna put a code in the description so you can get 90% off. Okay, but scrolling down, there's different account sizes. Okay, so I would always recommend going for 50k accounts for most people. You can see that the profit goal is $3,000, so you have to make $3,000 to pass the account. And the trailing threshold, you can think of this as like a maximum loss, is $2,500. Okay, but that trails. So if you're up $1,000 in a trade, that will also move up $1,000. Okay, so it's encouraging you to take profits. 25k, I just wouldn't recommend getting it because the price is almost the same as a 50k, and you can trade more size on a 50k, and the profit goal trailing threshold, just not a lot of room, unless you want to trade just micros, I guess. But so I would go for 50ks, and I would go for 20 50ks, so that'd be $1 million in funding. Okay, so if you buy a 50k account right now with the code in the description, it's only $16 per account, so you could get 20 accounts for about 320 bucks. Okay, so 20 evals for 320 bucks, right? And then what I would be doing is I would purchase probably 20 accounts at a time, and this is a pretty guaranteed way. I won't say 100% foolproof, because you can get unlucky, but the best way, the easiest way to get funded is to take 10 accounts long and 10 accounts short. You do not want to do this on a funded account because you're not allowed to hedge on a funded account. That's what it's called when you're going long and short at the same time, hedging, right? So I would take 10 accounts long, 10 accounts short. Okay, obviously you really only want to do this if you kind of know what you're doing as a trader. You don't just want to do this if you have no idea how to trade. It's going to put bad habits on you. So basically, before you go to bed at night, what I would do is take 5 contracts. So you can trade 10 contracts. I would take 5 contracts on the NASDAQ and go short on 10 accounts and long on 10 accounts. Okay, so let's say at like, I don't know, 10 o'clock at night or so, so like right around here, you go 10 accounts short. Okay, your profit target would be about 30 points, which is here, right? So that would hit. The only thing is this pullback is what is scary, right? So with the trailing threshold, if you're up profit and it pulls back on you, that's when it can go south, right? So if 5 contracts seems a little much, you can always go 3 contracts and just extend that TP out, right? So basically, the lower your contract sizing is, the further away your take profit will have to be, but the less risk of you losing the account because of a pullback is going to happen. Okay, so 5 contracts, it's still pretty risky. So if you went short, that's like up here, you would have hit your 3k target right here even before midnight, right? But if you went short like right here, right, so you went long on 10 accounts here, short on 10 accounts, you need 30 points with 5 contracts, right? So your longs would have needed to be up here, but this might have been enough just about to where you could lose the accounts on a short trade, right? So just depends. If you had 3 contracts, you would have been fine, right? And then you would have just hit it down there. So 3 to 5 contracts is what I'd recommend. 3 is a little less risky. You just got to put that take profit a little farther away. You could also do 5 contracts, right? It also depends on the night. Okay, it depends on the night. So some nights will just be rangy, and that's probably because there's some upcoming news the next day or something like that. So you got to take all that into consideration as well, right? So like right here on midnight or so, if you entered 10 accounts long, you would have hit your take profit, and right here, you almost had no drawdown. Really nice, right? So you would have basically lost your 10 accounts you did short, but you would have passed the 10 accounts you had long, okay? Because you need about 30 points or so with 5 contracts, okay? So basically you'd have 10 accounts funded. Then you can just rinse and repeat, do it again, buy another 20 accounts, do the same thing, right? Obviously, you're gonna be spending about $650 on evals, but with the 90% off, that's really not bad at all, right? And you definitely don't need to do this with 20 accounts. If you want to just get one funded account, you could spend 30 bucks and put one long, one short, and you'll probably get a funded account there. Obviously, sometimes it won't work, right? Sometimes you'll get super unlucky. Me personally, I've never been unlucky enough to have it not work. But it can not work. So you need to keep that into consideration, right? Like this day was pretty choppy. So if you entered a position, we'll just say at midnight again, you would have actually hit your shorts. So you can see, usually you can hit about 30 points or so. But I would break it up. So if you bought 20 evals, I wouldn't do it all one night, because there's a chance that it doesn't work both sides, because that trailing threshold is 2,500 and the take profit's 3,000, so it's not fully even. If you're doing a 25k account, basically 100% chance that you pass, because the take profit, the profit target, is the same as the trailing threshold, so almost 100% of the time that'll work. The 50ks, I'd say it's like a 95% chance, right? So keep that into consideration, right? But if you bought 20 accounts, I would break it up into chunks. So I would do, over the course of a 5-day week, I would do 4 accounts each night. So I would do basically the first night on Monday, I'd do 2 long, 2 short. And then if that works, great. You got 2 funded accounts. Tuesday, 2 and 2 again. Wednesday, 2 and 2. Thursday, 2 and 2. Friday, 2 and 2. Whatever, right? That way, if it doesn't work one of the days, which I guess if you spread it out that long, you'll probably have some of them one of them not work, right? But it takes that risk off of, if you do it all one night, that they all won't work, right? So take that into consideration. It's a very short video, but I just wanted to kind of explain to you guys that. And again, to recap, basically on the overnight session, there tends to be smoother moves. Okay, so enter, 10, 11 o'clock, whatever, before you go to bed, Eastern time, right? And then with 3 contracts, you'd have to calculate that. 3 contracts is basically $60 per point. So if you need a $3,000 profit target, how many points do I need to put it that away? Right? With 5 contracts, you need to put about 30.25 points away. So like right here, if you had to long at like 10:30 and entered 10 short, then your longs would have won. So you got 10 funded accounts there, right? So keep that in mind. I just wanted to make a very easy video on how to get up to $1 million in funding within a week, basically, or 2 weeks if you want to spread it out that long. But anyway, Apex is 90% off. There's a code and a link in the description. And leave any comments, questions, or concerns down below. And again, disclaimer, it cannot work, and do not do this on funded accounts, okay? They do not allow this on funded accounts. So, yeah, see you guys.